One of the skills that I practice regularly myself is the skill of journaling. And the reason I particularly like journaling is because it helps us to get in touch with our thoughts and our feelings about the different things that we experience in life. But I know that for some people, journaling can be a little bit scary. It can feel a little bit overwhelming. And so if I were to encourage somebody to engage in this process, I would say this is how you do it. I think first, it needs to become a habit, something that is regular for you. And regular doesn't mean that it's every day, but it does mean periodically I'm going to turn to my journal and write. The other thing that I've seen be helpful for folks is to set a timer when they write. We can begin to write, and write out our thoughts. And before long, we know we've lost an hour or even 2 hours. And that makes us not want to do it in the future because we don't want to lose that much time. And so if we set it for 15 minutes or 30 minutes, it begins to put some boundaries around that so it feels more doable. I would also recommend that you keep your journal close. You want it to be somewhere where when you need it, you can grab it and begin to write. As you write, it's really important to not judge your writing. You are not writing a paper for school. You are not writing a paper for work. You're not writing a letter to anyone. You are writing for you. So spelling doesn't matter and grammar doesn't matter. This really is your own personal processing. And so no judgment about how or what you write. And I would again go back, no judgment about how often you write. This is a place that we want to turn to when we're in need for really thinking through and processing how we're thinking and feeling. So if I'm going to write, what am I going to write about? I might talk about my day's experiences. This has more of a diary form. Today I did this. I don't find that as helpful as I find processing how I'm thinking and feeling about what happened that day. And that journal might be a place for gratitude. It might be a place for me to talk about some of the old struggles that I've had that I'm still working through. It might be a place for me to jot down my wishes or my desires for the future. It might even be a place for me to wrestle with some of those questions that I have, even questions about faith. I've seen people use their journal to write out letters to someone. These aren't letters that you would send, but it's a way for you to organize your thoughts and feelings about that person and your relationship with them. I've seen other folks take their scripture for the day and write out their reflections on that and what God might be speaking to them during that time of devotion on that particular day. And what I tend to do when I write in my journal, I have a hard time just writing generically to anyone. And so my journal tends to be a series of prayers. It's my conversation with God about my daily life. And so every day that I write, it starts with Father. And then I turn what I'm thinking and feeling into a prayer to share that intimacy with the Lord. Journaling is a habit, or it can be a habit that is life-giving for us.